Hi there. I thought that I'd take a few minutes and show you some patterns that have been developed here at Northern Engraving and take you through some reasons why it shows opportunity to take some standard foundations like a grid pattern or a straight line and then step outside the box, push the boundaries, and break out into something a little bit unique. Each one of these can be customized to fit your needs for your nameplate, logo, trim piece, etc. This first pattern is really kind of interesting because on the one angle it looks like all this is just a standard little dot pattern, but then you change the angle of it and look how cool that is, where a graphic appears in the background behind those dots. This is kind of a watermark of sorts. Love the possibilities with this. A logo or a tagline could be put in that background and just add some interest and a little bit of just something different for your part. The next two pieces here, these two patterns are both linear patterns, but they take on an organic feel. They use selective brushing and texture to give some dimension. This one definitely, uses straight lines, but look how the lines are not quite uniform. They go from narrow to wide, depending on where you are in the scope of the line. This one takes into another step to that organic feel with some waviness to the lines, and then you get a bit of dimension in the way that the layers of the brushing are laid on there, and it's got some texture on it too. This one is one of my absolute favorite patterns because what it does is it shows how you can have a graduated look. You see here how the structure is kind of far apart, but then it gets tighter and tighter, and this would be so cool going across like a specific shape like a door rail or an IP panel. It's a nice enhancement. It allows you to kind of change the effect of the decoration across the part. These next two, basically from kind of far apart, it just looks like these are just basic little dot patterns, but let's get closer up and you can see that this one is actually a bunch of little hexagons, and they have some selective brushing behind it, and so it takes on a bit of a shimmer. It's almost like a disco ball kind of, and how cool that decoration is. This one has layers then of the dots, and it looks very dimensional, but then you get to see where it has like little squares in between the dots, which is just kind of a different way to take a look at those geometric shapes. And then you have a carbon fiber structure, which is very popular, especially in like power sports and automotive trim and even archery equipment and sporting goods. That whole carbon look to things. So we can take and really get you something that is a very unique look. With the mechanical finish of the spinning behind the pattern here, you've got some movement and some depth into that so that you get all the little tones and details. These last three patterns all use some texture with brushed aluminum so that you can take like this one has a hexagon shape, but then you look closer to it and there's actually, with some texture, there's a cube in there. And again, playing kind of with the lighting and everything, you can see that. There is a real subtle line texture too. Let me see if I can get that in there. Get a nice picture of that for you, so that you can see those lines. It's just really, really nice and subtle. It's a way to get another bit of attention to it. This one on the one angle looks like we have some pinwheels, and then you change it and check it out, and it looks like we have bow ties. What? How is that possible? It's so amazing what you can do with aluminum. And the selective brushing and the patterns dance across the surface. This one is just has the selective brushing to get that kind of a seashell kind of look, I guess. And then the texture. Just gives some added tactileness to it. And let me get the detail. It's just such a cool thing, and it's amazing. It never ceases to amaze me what we can do to decorate the aluminum. You could change this out in color, and if you wanted to change the scale of any of these, make them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, we can do all that for you. We sure would love the opportunity to take a look at your project and see what we can do to help you kind of step outside the box. So get in touch with us if you'd like to have some more conversation or want to have any of these samples. Thanks so much.